Hi everyone, and welcome to Channel Week, our brand new week-long webcast series created to shed light on why and how B2B marketers are mastering channel partner marketing. I'm Terry Moffett, the editor of Channel Marketer Report, and I'll be your moderator for today's webinar, Accelerate Your Partner's Digital Transformation with Point-Based Rewards. Just in case you're joining us for the first time, this webinar series is being hosted by Channel Marketer Report and Demand Gen Report, sister online media publications presenting daily news, email newsletters, special reports, videos, original research, and a rich menu of additional resources. Channel Marketer Report delivers the latest solutions, trends, and information vendors need to maximize their channel sales and partner marketing programs, while Demand Gen Report focuses on the strategies, tactics, and measurements that are key to generating demand. To learn more, join our collective community of 75,000 plus subscribers by signing up for our email newsletters at channelmarketerreport.com and demandgenreport.com. We also encourage you to join our LinkedIn discussion groups, Channel Marketer and Demand Gen Specialists. In addition to our publications, we're also the hosts of B2B Marketing Exchange, held in Scottsdale, Arizona every February. This live event focuses on helping professionals improve B2B marketing and sales strategies and results. Rated a top B2B marketing conference by Forbes, B2BMX, brings 900 plus marketers together for a 3-day educational and networking program that includes more than 85 sessions throughout 6 topical tracks covering channel marketing and demand gen. You can learn more about this unique event and sign up for events at b2bmarketing.exchange. We'll also invite you to become a part of our community of B2B experts, where you can join with like-minded professionals, join in B2B-focused conversations and initiatives, and even compete for some great prizes. Check out our thriving community at b2bmx.influitive.com/join/now. Week-long series, we're hosting a special sweepstakes where attendees can win a free ticket to the annual B2B Marketing Exchange or Starbucks gift cards. Because you registered for a Channel Week webinar, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win, and if you attend any sessions live, you'll receive a second entry. We will be giving away 1 Starbucks gift card per session and 1 B2BMX free pass per day, so be sure to attend all of the Channel Week sessions for your best chance to win. Finally, for today's presentation, we're using the On24 platform, where you can access all the information you need from the platform toolbar. During and after today's presentation, please follow along and share your thoughts and feedbacks on Twitter and LinkedIn using the hashtag ChannelWeek. You can tweet from directly within the On24 platform here using the widget on the left-hand side of the screen. We also encourage you to ask our presenters questions. To do that, simply click the Q&A widget at the top right corner of the screen. Today's presentation is slated to run about 25 to 35 minutes with 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A following the session. You can submit your questions again using the QA widget at any time. Today's session is being recorded, and all attendees will receive an archive link to review or share with colleagues. In addition to joining the conversation online and submitting your questions, we also welcome you to let us know how we're doing so we can continue to improve our events. We put together a very brief survey that will automatically launch once this webinar session ends. You can also pull up, complete, and submit the survey at any time during the webinar by clicking on the survey icon circled here on the bottom of your screen. Before signing off today, please take a moment to complete this quick questionnaire so we can serve you better. So I'm pleased to introduce our feature speaker, Claudio Ayub. And Claudio, I hope I pronounced that correctly. He is the Chief Strategy Officer. I'm sorry?
I said you did.
Okay, wonderful. Claudio is the Chief Strategy Officer for Incentives and Loyalty Solutions at Perks Worldwide. Claudio brings over 20 years of global channel marketing experience to Perks. He is a loyalty marketing expert with broad knowledge in strategy development, market management, and channel sales planning. During his career, he has developed and executed major go-to-market programs for a variety of vendors, including Cisco, Dell, EMC, IBM, Lenovo, and Microsoft, to name a few very big companies. Claudio keeps current with changes in technology and is passionate about the business implications of new technology. By combining that knowledge with his multidisciplinary channel and loyalty marketing experience, he strives to inspire the creation of ideas that lead to change and constant performance improvement. So we're really excited to have Claudio with us today. So without further ado, I'll turn things over to you. Claudio?
Thank you, Terry. Thank you very much today. And we're going to have a look at, how vendors can accelerate their partners' digital transformation using incentives. And for the most part, today we're going to focus on individual level incentives that are going to look like points-based or spiffs, if you will. All right, so digital transformation is affecting every sector across every industry on a global scale. We've all felt it. We've all read a lot about it. But more specifically, demand generation professionals and channel marketeers are increasingly adopting digital strategies to grow their business. Yet, digital transformation of your partner businesses is a complex, multifaceted endeavor that warrants a new vision and new approaches to partner engagement and incentives. This is mainly due to partners lacking the digital sales and marketing skills to effectively market and sell the vendor's solutions. One clear example of how digital transformation is impacting the partner's processes is the misalignment that's created between a partner sales process with the new digitally connected buyer's journey. As a matter of fact, according to a partner's sales process study by SiriusDecisions, a scant 12% of respondents stated that they have modified their sales process to align with the new buyer's journey. All in all, enterprise organizations have never experienced this level of upheaval before. Established brands are really scrambling to leverage their through-channel marketing automation technology to be able to deliver ROI. However, the key issues impacting your digital marketing strategies can be addressed with what Forrester calls incentive engineering. You can actually change partner behavior and the outcome of the cumulative transformation effort. Think about this. Forrester estimates that sales of through-channel marketing automation technology will climb at a 25% CAGR through 2023 to about $1.6 billion. Yet, a recent study by SiriusDecisions also reveals that the average utilization of these TCMA solutions was under 17%. It's therefore imperative that vendors engage their partners with comprehensive programs that incent them to take full advantage of these new digital solutions, because what is likely to have the biggest impact on the ROI of vendor investments is how eagerly partner companies adopt the digital marketing tools vendors now support. So, today, you will walk away from this webcast with a new channel incentive framework that will help you increase and improve your partner's utilization of your digital sales and marketing tools. This framework provides a step-by-step approach to identifying the most effective combination of incentives the company, and that is partner company, right, at the team, partner teams, and individual levels This all in an effort to drive your digital marketing strategies. In doing this, we will demonstrate to you how a sale is a result of a number of productive activities and behaviors, which when properly orchestrated, lead to that sale. And we will also review how you can align your partner's sales process to the new digital buyer's journey, improving demand generation, lead management, and opportunity management. In reality, it's time to reevaluate how you model and design your incentive programs, as the days of only offering transactional-based incentives are gone forever. So let's start by taking a quick view at the current state of channel demand, as the lack of alignment and proper governance in channel demand management is resulting in inefficiencies and increased costs, also in lost revenue and poor partner and buyer experiences. The fact is that businesses and markets realize that there's a new unprecedented opportunity for channel leaders to create value for their partner organizations. So let's start by taking a look at the current state of the channel demand. Marketing enablement is more important than ever before because many channel organizations are increasingly shifting the responsibilities of demand creation to their channel partners. Everyone is doing it, as vendors who strive to expand sales breadth by adding more partners are also investing in this one-to-many self-service PCMA tools that address partner marketing needs. Yet, key limitations often prevent these programs from being successful. Understanding your partner's challenges associated with channel demand programs is critical for making improvements required to ensure future success. Your partner's challenges are many, and one of the most critical ones is the partner's inability to connect offerings to the new digital buyer's needs. Yet, getting partners to participate in learning tracks requires a concerted effort to engage them and then lead them to the specific tracks they're in need of. The reality is that many of these challenges can be addressed through an interlock with portfolio marketing and channel marketing's enablement of partners through knowledge transfer. To make matters more complex, only 10% of partners actually have a dedicated marketing resource. Most partners, and I'm speaking mostly about the SMB space because at the enterprise level, partners do have marketing people. But in the SMB space where it's the largest mass, most have a marketing role only. And that means that it's somebody that does marketing among other things. It could be a sales manager, it could be somebody's assistant. The key takeaway here, though, is that the partner's marketing associate or the partner's marketing role is a new persona to incent in the vendor-partner relationship. Because these partner marketing individuals lack the sales and marketing skills to effectively sell your solutions. Therefore, your first line of fire is in identifying who these individuals are, then tagging them, and then engaging them to increase their marketing skills and ensure proper execution. How can we gain a better understanding of partners' marketing capabilities and enable partners to use the digital marketing programs and tools vendors provide? Let's start by focusing on 3 key areas. First, employ a marketing enablement or marketing accreditation or certification program. And I've got to say, every time I use the term marketing certification, people raise an eyebrow and say, hey, certification sounds kind of very serious. So depending on what you're trying to do, accreditation may be the right term to use. But the idea, whether it's accreditation or certification program, is to ensure partners acquire the skills they need to execute your digital marketing campaigns and gain their commitment. By the way, the top reason why partners are not able to connect offering to buyers' needs and challenges is that misalignment that I spoke before of the partner sales process with a digitally connected buyer's journey. So that is the second focus area. The reality is that about 80% of partners still use an activity-based sales process that is totally disconnected from the buyer's journey. And what I mean by activity-based sales process is that process, that sales funnel that came with their CRM application. Most partners are in SFDC, right? And SFDC came with this, five-step, five-stage sales process. It's all activity-based, and that's what the partners use. And that is in a total disalignment with the new buyer's journey. So the third step of the way to drive partner behavior using channel incentives as a currency is to understand, again, number one, identify the individuals, the marketing people, and then consider them that new individual to incent and deliver your marketing accreditation or certification program through the completion of the prior two focus areas. This is a very simple approach, but this approach is going to lead them to select the right place using the funds offered in your TCMA's tool. The reality is that it's really time to reevaluate how you model and design your incentive programs. As I said before, the days of offering transaction-based incentives are really gone forever. Right, so let's take a look at how marketing certification is going to help transform partners into taking advantage of all of your digital marketing tools. By the way, marketing certification should be leveraged as a tool for raising partner commitment levels. For example, you can use marketing certification as a prerequisite for MDF funds. So let's start with the basics. This type of education track targets the marketing role or individual within the partner organization. So as I said earlier, you first need to identify the marketing role or the marketing associate of the partner to then engage them with learning tracks that will teach them the basics of demand generation and how to use your marketing automation tools as well as your campaign-in-a-box options if you have them. The people who fill these new roles within partner organizations and who, by the way, are designated as a marketing lead, right, on your CRM or PRM tool, should be the primary participants in your marketing certification training and incentive program. The training should also be scheduled to occur during a new product launch, maybe on the partnering onboarding process, or a major campaign rollout. Second, you need to measure the resulting number of training completed and share those results with your audience, which is a larger partner community. Key metrics to consider here include the number of certification programs that are offered, and typically I see vendor offering accreditation programs and then certification programs. Another key metric is the number of partners who actually participate, who engage in these efforts, and the number of partners who achieve certification. Both, very, very telling metrics, especially to the partner community. And last but not least, the range of skills and markets in the specific training programs. All of that is very valuable information to feed back to partners to entice them to participate further. Then you follow this with teaching them about marketing fundamentals, right? And while partners do not need to be experts in every nuance of aligning marketing programs to prospective buyers, they must have a baseline set of skills that include educating partners on the common questions that customers will ask at each stage of the buyer's journey. Common questions and objections can be inserted into marketing playbooks or described to partners in your partner portal. You can even store them in specific areas of your partner portal for subsequent use. You should also describe the different buyer personas to partners who are going to participate at each stage of that buyer's journey, and then also which assets can be used to meet the buyer's specific requirements. And third, you should also help partners understand what type of demand they will be creating with prospects, which will determine their overall marketing and sales approach. You then need to follow that up with play execution alignment. And this is all about teaching partners where to find assets in your marketing automation tool and how to use those assets when executing marketing programs. You should also let them know if they will apply MDF incentives to request individual tactics and plays from a menu, and show them how to access the menu and what process to follow. Also, you should help partners understand what is included in each play they select, the duration of that play, and the reporting expectations. Partners should be taught to identify and meet the buyer's information requirements during each stage of the buying process. For each product being resold, you should put a list of questions and then provide those to partners so that they're prepared to answer those questions at each stage using your marketing assets. And I'm talking about your case studies, your white papers, ROI calculators, right? These questions can be communicated to the partner through a one-page summary that addresses the broad phases of the buyer's journey. And just in case you don't remember those, the education phase, the solution phase, and the vendor selection phase, right? And vendors should also train partners on the different buying roles, as I said earlier, right? I'm talking about the champions, the ratifiers, the user buyers, right? Because they can influence those roles and exert, different, or actually deliver different content at various stages of that buying process. Partners should also be taught how to customize the content or tactics for each role because they are different, right? Now, most of you vendors out there already understand your buyer's journey and already have alignment of your content to that buyer's journey. You know, the idea here is that you transfer that knowledge now to partners and educate them on how to use that content and how to use your tool in alignment with the buyers. Now, let's look at the second suggestion here, which is looking at demand type. Partners need to be taught to position an offering with the target buyer by showing them how to align the messaging to the type of demand the partner must try to create. This education should help partners develop top products for the solutions they're attempting to resell. Partners should also be able to detect when changes to the delivery of the solution affects the demand type. And your typical example here is a software as a service solution versus an on-premise solution, right? So the partner needs to understand, when to change the delivery of that demand type, right? Actually, delivery of that content. And you do this through playbooks, which should be created to guide partners through a series of questions to determine demand type. And also you can use this playbooks in partner marketing programs outside of what you're doing here with partners, because you can use them to develop call scripts. Now, let's look at multi-touch lead development. Because most business-to-business inquiries are generated over the web, as potential buyers first locate, then educate themselves about your solutions, partners should be trained to develop these leads using multi-touch lead nurturing programs. Specifically, they should learn to use 4 critical elements in digital marketing. And I'm talking about messaging, I'm talking about offers, tactics, and data collection. Because this will help partners create that multi-touch program that offers potential buyers appropriate content at each stage of their buying process. So let me show you now how you can get started using some basic tactical examples of marketing accreditation. And for that purpose, we're going to use a marketing activity, and then we're going to create 3 metrics: a learn metric, a create metric, and a share metric. And this is going to look very simple, but it is indeed very effective. So let's look at an activity, a marketing activity, such as content syndication. So your first step here is to create a learn metric. That means that you are going to provide some education material, maybe a 3-minute video, on how to do content syndication. And you do this video and quiz on your incentive center, right? Now, once that marketing individuals created content syndication, actually implemented the code on their website, that is the create metric. And obviously, you can validate that by simply looking at it. And there are some systems that allow you to understand when that code was actually used. And then the share metric. And what happens here is that you're going to recognize and reward an individual for actually sharing. Social media is a perfect example. All of that content has been syndicated from your website. Very, very simple. Once you accomplish that, you can take the next step, and let's go to something a little bit more complicated, building a landing page and email, right? Again, you start with a learn metric. You provide some educational content. Again, a video is perfect with a short quiz. Once that's done, you look at the creation of that landing page and email on your TCMA platform or CMM platform, as SiriusDecisions likes to call it. And once that's done, there's the third metric that that marketing person has sent those emails to 1,000 contacts or 100 contacts, whatever it is that you choose. The third one is a little bit more complex, and this is about an event. And again, what you're doing is you're educating that partner and quizzing them to understand that they did indeed understand how to do this over your TCMA tool. Then you look at the tool and understand they've actually used the tool to create that event. It may be a prepackaged event. It may be just uploading the list, getting the invitations out. And then the share metric is by actually getting 25 people to register on that event and attend. Obviously, the number of people is going to vary according to the size of that event. But here's the trick. This won't happen unless you provide that incentive. And again, you start with that learning incentive on the learning metrics, and it's probably about a $50 incentive there. It has to be commensurate with the effort being done, right? And so somebody's going to watch a video for 2-3 minutes, is going to answer a quiz for another 2-3 minutes. I'm going to spend about 10-15 minutes overall. $50 will get people to do that, and especially if you deliver it instantly, digitally, right? It's going to get people moving. And once they learn how to do it, if you put and double that incentive on the create metric, they're actually going to execute on what they just learned. And more importantly for you, if you then go one up and provide $150 to share whatever it is, that marketing activity that they engaged in. Now, you've educated somebody, you recognize them, and then you rewarded them for doing exactly what you wanted them to do, which is generate demand on your behalf. Now, let's quickly talk about measurement. And while these are some basic measurements, just like some basic techniques to get started, there are leading indicators that happen during the pre-sale cycle where you can look for increase in the number of partner-generated leads and conversion of inquiries to marketing qualified leads, MQLs, right? Vendors should also see higher conversion of MQLs to sales accepted leads, MQLs to SALs. Remember, when vendors tie specific enablement activities such as training, certification, accreditation, and they tie those to demand offers, partners are a lot more likely to engage in those demand offers, resulting in higher levels of participation. Key metrics here include the quantity of the campaign materials downloaded. Another key metric here could be MDF utilization, and definitely the pipeline opportunities that originated from the partners' MQLs. Now, there's also some lagging indicators that occur post-sales cycle that can be used to measure the impact of marketing certification on program performance. For example, you can measure a program ROI using the number of deals and the amount of revenue closed as a result of specific demand programs. Vendors really need to know the impact that marketing is having on the partner's pipeline, and these are some very basic measurements that you can use to do so. Now, let's look at that digital buyer's journey and how you can help your partners align their sales process to the new digital buyer. All right, so you start the process by looking at your buyer's journey, and I used a typical example, a very generic example here of a buyer's journey model. And once you've done that, then if you compare your partner's sales process to that buyer's journey, you're going to very quickly realize the misalignment in that process. One very easy way to identify misalignment and go back and prove it to your partners is asking the partner how many opportunities are lost, closed, or closed lost because it's not happening, because the buyer didn't take any action, didn't buy a competitor's solution, didn't do anything. That is a typical symptom of a misalignment of a partner sales process with the buyer's journey. Now, let's take a look at how we align that process. So again, here is the partner sales process measured in months, and this is the partner sales cycle. And a lot of our clients, if they're not very transactional or they have big deals, 6 to 8 months is what everybody tends to tell you that it is. Of course, you have to do this by a product line, right, or a solution type. Once you've done that, if you overlay the buyer's journey, you can very easily identify your objective, which is closing that deal, right? Getting the partner to accelerate the speed with which they close the deal. So that's definitely a measurement that you can define very easily. In the same way, if you're helping partners generate demand, you're going to know exactly once an MQL is sent over to the partner sales team as an SAL. And so that really defines your sales cycle length. It's not the 8 months, but when you look into it, it's really shorter. And I'm just giving you generic examples here of what it can be. And the next step in how to get that alignment It's by defining one additional step. In this case, I'm going to use deal registration. And I'm not talking about closing a deal. I'm talking about registering a deal. Okay? And it could be proof of concept. It may be having the partner sales rep invite one of your CAMs or your PAMs on a call on that particular prospect because that's going to accelerate the sale. I think we all would agree that a proof of concept is very likely to close. Typically, clients say that once they do a proof of concept, the opportunity is 75 to 85% more likely to close. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for activities or behaviors that increase the chances of that deal getting closed. But again, for this example, I'm just going to go in and use deal registration. So here's the partner sales cycle again, and we're missing one chevron there. And we're going to put an early opportunity registration promotion in place. This is an incentive, right? And we're also going to do what everybody else does. We're going to provide an incentive for closing that deal. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should spend more in incentives. My suggestion is that you take part of the original incentive. In this case, this customer was providing a 3% incentive for closed deals. What I'm suggesting is you take half a point and move it to the deal registration. It may be that deal registration happens 90 days before closing or maybe more. But by moving half a point from the deal closing incentive to the deal registration incentive, you're going to change behavior. Now, a lot of people say, oh, my partners are just going to register anything. Well, the reality is that you approve those deals, right? In order, a partner may register as many deals as they want, but, you have your team approving those deals. So this incentive is on approved deals that have been registered. Now, let me give you some case study data of what happens when you do this. So in this particular case, this customer was closing 240 deals before moving the incentive forward. He had an average closing ratio of about 50%, and so they were closing about 120 deals a month. Now, the average value of each transaction was $30,000, so they were generating $3.6 million in revenue. Once we moved this incentive and we played it out over 2 quarters, we were able to double the number of deals registered. They happened faster, earlier, and even though the partner's organization kept the same closing ratio, they doubled the number of deals closed, generating $7.2 million in revenue. That meant incremental revenue of $3.6 million. Once you factor in the spend of the incentive, this basically reflected, I think, in about 8 or 9% of incremental revenue. Very, very effective. Now, remember, today is all about behavior-based incentives. If you keep putting incentives at the end, and I call that the end of the post-sale area, you're not going to be able to be very effective. In the digital area, you have to provide behavior-based incentives. And, the reality out there is that most current incentive programs that I look at still deliver a benefit only after revenue is attained. Think about it. There is really no reason for the partner sales rep or sales engineer to engage up front because you're putting the benefit only after revenue is attained. The result is that programs that initially seem very attractive tend to fall by the wayside as partner teams become busy and see no immediate benefit. Even worse are programs that reward individuals for sales that they would have attained anyway. By the way, and I get asked this question a lot, gamification in the channel is all about driving and rewarding activity and behavior completion. It is not at all about games. And now let's take a quick look at the incentive framework in action. This is the tool that you're going to take home today with you that is going to enable you to do all of these things. And so you start by identifying exactly who your partner audience is, because there are different partner types, and different partner types definitely need different types of engagement promotions. Second, you need to align incentives to the selected partner business model, right? A reseller is going to be driven by a specific type of incentives that are going to be very different from a DMR or from a distributor. And so if you want engagement, you have to align the incentives to the partner business model. Third, you must identify and select the different personas. It depends on what you're trying to do, right? If you want more deals registered, you got to go after the sales rep, after the sales engineer. If you want volume, you need to deliver it at the company level. You need to deliver it at the partner company. And last but not least, understand who you're trying to incent, and I mean by that understanding the partner type, understanding how you align it in the partner persona, and then segmenting your program accordingly. Now, we talked about that partner sales process having these three key areas: the enablement phase, the pre-sales phase, and the post-sales phase. And so I've listed here some of the most typical activities and behaviors under each phase that I see vendors trying to drive. Sales accreditation, very important. Technical certification, obvious, right? Marketing certification, this is what we are specifically talking about today. Partner-led marketing, DemGen, lead follow-up, opportunity. This is how you start the framework. You split the sales process in these three phases, and then you list those activities and behaviors that you're trying to improve. Once you've done that, you tag these activities and behaviors at the individual, company, or team level. In this particular example, I'm going to focus on marketing certification. If you want to drive behavior through marketing certification, you're going to definitely need to engage and bonify individuals. If you're trying to close sales, you're definitely going to need to go at the individual level. If you're trying to achieve pipeline goal attainment or renewals, that is going to be at the company level. So once you've identified the activities and behaviors and then tag them at the individual or company level, then can you come back and overlay the type of incentive program that you want to drive those behaviors with. So looking back at marketing certification, that is an incentive at the individual level, typically delivered through a points-based rewards program. Now, if you're trying to drive demand, that is definitely a company-level incentive delivered through MDF or co-op. The same is true for pipeline goal attainment. That's a company-level incentive delivered through rebates. Once you've done this, identify the activities and behaviors, tag them individual or company, and then overlay the incentive type that you want to influence those behaviors with, then and only then you can apply the benchmark incentive rate. And when it comes to pre-sales and post-sales, you can tie that as a percentage of the sale or the transaction. And if it's a recurring revenue model, you need to tie it to the lifetime value of the deal. If it's on the enablement phase, that's going to be commensurate with the effort being made. So again, if we look at marketing certification, it's going to take about $300 to get somebody certified, really knowledgeable about, how to engage buyers with the right content, understanding the type of demand, and more importantly, understanding how to use your TCMA solution. This is an incentive framework that you can apply on a partner type by partner type and really drive behavior. So let's look at the entire picture here. There's that buyer's journey. On the bottom is your incentive strategy. Right there in between is that partner's journey, a totally modified partner journey where partners now are using your demand generation content adequately. They're then following that up with lead management content. They never probably used that before. And then even moving into opportunity management content such as ROI calculators, demos, and testimonials. This is how incentives can help you shorten the partner's time to revenue. And quickly here, because we're running long, I'm going to provide a checklist that you can use to ensure that you're driving your partner's digital transformation using incentives. Thank you very much for your attention today. Harry?
Yes, I'm there, Claudia. That was really a wonderful presentation, and we have been getting a number of questions here, and we have time for a few of them. One of the our attendees had asked, I've been fairly successful with offering transactional incentives. If I want to move to a points-based program, should I just stop doing the sort of transactional thing, or what's the best way to transition from one to the other?
Yep, very good question. I would ask the person who asked the question exactly, what are they trying to accomplish, right? I get it that, most people using incentives want to increase sales, and I totally understand that. And that transactional incentives on hardware, for example, they work very well. But there are other activities and behaviors before that transaction that you incent to accelerate that time to revenue. Let me give you a perfect example. Let's see if I can do this without sharing any confidential information. A network manufacturer has a tool that empowers a partner to connect to a customer and end customer's network and determine exactly where they could improve performance. Okay, and so yes, the outcome of scanning an end customer's network is going to yield the sale of a number of devices. But if the partner doesn't do the scanning, those devices are never going to be sold. And so you can be very effective putting an incentive on, scanning end customers' networks. And that is just one example. It all really depends, Terry, on what is that client trying to accomplish.
Okay. Another question came in from one of our attendees. They were asking, if I use a point-based program and start to engage more individuals at my partners, is there a protocol for working within that company to make sure that I'm reaching out to those individuals appropriately?
Absolutely. And it's going to depend on the partner type. There are partners, say distributors, DMRs, large account resellers, typically the largest partners, that are not really going to be very enthusiastic about you as a vendor coming in and delivering incentives to their sales reps and sales engineers and marketing people. So the protocol in that particular partner type is to go first, to that partner management and kind of, invite them to participate. And in doing so, you're basically asking for their blessing, their permission to allow you to drive those incentives. That is going to be very effective because they will help you identify those individuals that you want to incent. Now, again, DMRs may not want that. So you have to have the incentive platform tools that empower the partner to make that decision. And today, most SaaS incentive platforms have the ability, for the partner first to authorize, to approve terms and conditions, and to define where is the incentive going to go. Is it going to go directly to individuals? Is it going to go directly to the partner company? Or is it going to go directly to the partner company who is then going to distribute them using the tool, your incentive tool, back to sales reps and sales engineers? So yes, there is a protocol, and that protocol is for your largest partner, the one that I just described. When it comes to the SMB segment, where most partners are there, the protocol will vary according to the region. In North America, it's very straightforward, so you can go directly with an offer to sales reps, sales engineers, and marketing people. In Europe, not so much. You're going to need to go back to the partner, and not necessarily to ask for permission, but rather to address taxation, earned income tax that needs to be addressed on any incentive program in Europe. The same is true in Asia. In Latin America, not so much, except in Brazil. But yes, there is a protocol.
Okay, wonderful. Well, look, Claudio, thank you so much for your time today, and I want to thank everyone in our audience for submitting questions. We sort of got a little tight on time here, but we will forward those to Claudio, and if you have the time to answer them, Claudio, and follow up directly by email, that would be fantastic. Again, I want to thank all of our attendees. Okay. I do want to thank all of our attendees for joining us today, and on behalf of all of us at Channel Market Report and Demand Gen Report, again, I want to thank you, Claudio, for a wonderful presentation. I'd like to remind everyone to please be sure to join us for our next session, which will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, August 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And that presentation, Channel Gap, how corporate marketing can align activities with channel programs. Again, thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you soon.